Have you ever felt like the whole world forgot about you? Like you were nothing? It cuts deep, doesn't it? The sting of betrayal, the icy grip of indifference. It's a pain many know, a pain I know. This isn't about wallowing, it's about understanding, about rising above. Let's call her Sarah. Sarah was my confidant, my rock, or so I thought. We shared everything, dreams, fears, even the most embarrassing secrets. Then, the storm hit, a business deal gone sour, a project that crashed and burned. Suddenly, Sarah was gone. No calls, no texts, no explanations, just silence. It felt like a punch to the gut, a betrayal I couldn't comprehend. I questioned everything, my judgment, my worth, even my sanity. Was I not good enough? Did I do something wrong? The questions swirled, a vortex of self, doubt and recrimination. But here's the truth, and it's a truth that took me far too long to grasp. Sarah's actions, her abandonment, said nothing about me. It spoke volumes about her, her character, her capacity for empathy, her true nature. People show you who they are. Believe them. Don't twist yourself into a pretzel trying to justify their behavior. Don't invent excuses for their lack of loyalty. See them for who they truly are, and let that be enough. Another friend, Mark, was different. He wasn't a confidant, more of a casual acquaintance. But when I needed him most, he vanished too. I was organizing a charity event, something I poured my heart and soul into. Mark had promised to help, a simple commitment, or so I thought. The day arrived, and Mark was nowhere to be found. No apologies, no explanations, just radio silence. This time, the pain was different. It wasn't the deep cut of betrayal, but the slow burn of indifference, the feeling that I and my efforts were simply insignificant, that my time, my energy, my passion meant nothing to him. Again, the questions arose. Was I not important enough? Was my cause not worthy? But again, the answer lay not within me, but within him. His indifference, his lack of commitment, spoke to his own priorities, his own values, his own limitations. It had nothing to do with my worth or the worthiness of my cause. It was about him and his inability to show up. These experiences, these betrayals, these acts of indifference, they leave scars. They create walls, they breed cynicism, but they can also be catalysts for growth, for strength, for freedom. The key is to embrace the indifference, to use it as a shield, to protect yourself from further hurt, to insulate yourself from their negativity. Don't let their actions define you. Don't let their opinions dictate your path. Their indifference is not a reflection of your value. It's a reflection of their void, a void of empathy, a void of compassion, a void of genuine connection. Fill your own void with self, love with self, acceptance with self, reliance. Find strength in solitude, in the quiet moments of reflection. Discover your own inner resources, your own resilience, your own power. You are stronger than you think, more capable than you believe, more worthy than you know. Their abandonment is not a sentence. It's an opportunity to shed the weight of their expectations, to break free from their influence, to create your own destiny. It's a chance to redefine your relationships, to surround yourself with people who truly value you, who support you, who uplift you, people who show up, not just when things are easy, but when things are hard, people who celebrate your successes and comfort you in your failures, people who see you for who you truly are and love you anyway. It's not easy. This journey of self-discovery, this path of self-reliance. There will be moments of doubt, moments of fear, moments of loneliness, but remember this, you are not alone. Many have walked this path before you, and many will walk it after you. Reach out, connect, share your story. Find solace in the shared experience, strength in the collective wisdom, and never, ever give up on yourself. You are worth fighting for. You are worth believing in. You are worth loving. Embrace the indifference. Let it fuel your fire. Let it propel you forward. Use it as a reminder of your own strength, your own resilience, your own power, and never forget. Their actions speak volumes about them, not about you. So, how do you actually embrace this indifference? It's not about becoming cold or callous. It's about detaching emotionally. It's about recognizing that their behavior is their problem, not yours. It's about refusing to internalize their negativity, to absorb their toxicity. It's about setting boundaries, clear and firm. Boundaries that protect your energy, your time, your peace of mind. If someone consistently disrespects you, distance yourself. If someone constantly drains you, limit your interactions. If someone repeatedly betrays you, cut ties completely. It's not about being vindictive, it's about self-preservation. It's about creating a safe space for yourself, a sanctuary where you can heal, grow, and thrive. It's also about shifting your focus from external validation to internal validation. Stop seeking approval from others. Start seeking approval from yourself. Stop measuring your worth by their standards. Start measuring it by your own. What do you value? What do you believe in? What are your passions? Pursue them relentlessly, without apology, without hesitation. Invest in yourself, in your growth, in your well-being. Read books, take classes, learn new skills, exercise. Meditate, spend time in nature. Nourish your body, your mind, your soul. The more you invest in yourself, the less you will need from others. The more self-sufficient you become, the less vulnerable you will be to their indifference. And finally, it's about forgiveness, not for them, but for yourself. Forgive yourself for trusting them, for believing in them, for giving them your heart. Forgive yourself for the pain, the anger, the resentment. Holding on to those emotions only hurts you. It keeps you chained to the past. Forgiveness is not about condoning their behavior. It's about releasing yourself from its grip. It's about letting go of the negativity and embracing the possibility of a brighter future. It's about choosing peace over bitterness, healing over resentment, freedom over bondage. Forgive yourself and move on. Their indifference is a gift, a painful gift, but a gift nonetheless. It's an opportunity to learn, to grow, to evolve, to become stronger, more resilient, more self-reliant, to create a life that is authentic, meaningful, and fulfilling. A life that is not dependent on the approval of others, but driven by your own inner compass. Embrace the indifference and watch yourself soar. Let's talk about practical steps, because knowing this intellectually is one thing, implementing it is another. First, identify the people in your life who consistently exhibit this indifference or betrayal. This requires brutal honesty. Don't sugarcoat it. Don't make excuses for them. Look at their actions, not their words. Do they consistently let you down? Do they dismiss your feelings? Do they prioritize their own needs above yours? Once you've identified these individuals, create a plan. This plan will vary depending on the nature of the relationship. In some cases, complete severance is necessary. This might be painful, especially if it's a family member or a long-time friend. But sometimes, it's the only way to protect yourself. In other cases, you might be able to maintain a limited relationship with very clear boundaries. This requires assertive communication. You need to be able to clearly and calmly state your needs and enforce your boundaries. I understand you're busy, but I need you to be on time when we have plans. I appreciate your opinion, but I don't appreciate you dismissing my feelings. I value our friendship, but I can't tolerate being constantly let down. Be prepared for resistance. People who are used to getting away with indifference and betrayal won't like it when you start pushing back. They might try to guilt you, manipulate you, or even gaslight you. Stand your ground. Remember, you are doing this for yourself. You are protecting your energy, your time, your peace of mind. Next, focus on building a support system of people who genuinely care about you. This might involve reaching out to old friends, joining a new group, or seeking professional help. Surround yourself with people who are positive, supportive, and uplifting. People who will celebrate your successes and comfort you in your failures. People who will see you for who you truly are and love you anyway. Don't be afraid to be vulnerable. Share your feelings, your fears, your insecurities. Authenticity is magnetic. When you are genuine, you attract genuine people. And finally, practice self-compassion. Be kind to yourself. You are human. You will make mistakes. You will experience setbacks. Don't beat yourself up. Treat yourself with the same compassion you would offer a friend. Acknowledge your pain. Validate your feelings. And remind yourself that you are doing the best you can. Self-compassion is not self-pity. It's not about wallowing in your misery. It's about recognizing your humanity and treating yourself with kindness and understanding. It's about giving yourself permission to heal, to grow, to evolve. Remember, this is a journey, not a destination. There will be ups and downs. There will be moments of progress and moments of regression. Be patient with yourself. Celebrate your victories and learn from your setbacks. And never, ever give up on yourself. You are worth fighting for. You are worth believing in. You are worth loving. Embrace the indifference and watch yourself soar. Let's delve into the psychology behind why people exhibit indifference and betrayal. Understanding the root causes can help you detach emotionally and avoid taking it personally. One common reason is insecurity. People who are insecure often try to elevate themselves by putting others down. They might betray your trust or dismiss your feelings in order to feel superior. It's a defense mechanism, a way of masking their own inadequacies. Another reason is lack of empathy. Some people simply lack the capacity to understand or care about the feelings of others. They might be narcissistic or sociopathic or simply emotionally stunted. They are unable to put themselves in your shoes, and therefore, they are unable to comprehend the pain they are causing. Another factor is fear of vulnerability. Some people are afraid to get close to others because they fear being hurt. They might push you away or betray your trust in order to maintain a safe distance. It's a self-protective mechanism, a way of avoiding potential pain. Another reason is poor communication skills. Some people simply don't know how to express their feelings in a healthy way. They might resort to passive, aggressive behavior or outright betrayal because they lack the skills to communicate their needs effectively. And finally, sometimes people are simply selfish. They prioritize their own needs and desires above all else, without regard for the consequences. They might betray your trust or dismiss your feelings simply because it benefits them. Understanding these motivations doesn't excuse their behavior, but it can help you understand it. It can help you detach emotionally and avoid taking it personally. Remember, their actions are a reflection of their own internal struggles, not a reflection of your worth. So, how do you prevent future betrayals and indifference? The key is to be discerning about who you let into your life. Don't be afraid to take your time, to get to know people before you trust them completely. Pay attention to red flags. Do they gossip about others? Do they consistently break their promises? Do they dismiss your feelings? Trust your gut. If something feels off, it probably is. Don't ignore your intuition. It's often right. Be wary of people who are overly charming or flattering. They might be trying to manipulate you. Look for consistency between their words and their actions. Do they walk the talk? Are they reliable and trustworthy? Don't be afraid to set boundaries early on. Let people know what you will and will not tolerate. Be assertive and clear. And finally, be prepared to walk away if someone consistently disrespects you or betrays your trust. Don't hesitate to cut ties. You deserve to be surrounded by people who value you, who respect you, who support you. Don't settle for anything less. Remember, you are in control of your own life. You have the power to choose who you let into your inner circle. Choose wisely. Embrace the indifference and watch yourself soar. Let's talk about the long-term benefits of embracing indifference and finding strength in solitude. It's not just about surviving the pain of betrayal. It's about thriving in its aftermath. One of the biggest benefits is increased self-esteem. When you stop seeking validation from others, you start to value yourself more. You realize that your worth is not dependent on their approval. You become more confident, more self-assured, more resilient. Another benefit is improved mental health. When you detach emotionally from toxic people, you reduce your stress levels. You free yourself from their negativity, their drama, their manipulation. You create a space for peace, for calm, for healing. Another benefit is stronger relationships when you are clear about your boundaries. You attract people who respect them. You build relationships based on authenticity, trust, and mutual respect. You surround yourself with people who genuinely care about you, who support you, who uplift you. Another benefit is increased productivity. When you are not constantly worried about what others think, you are free to focus on your goals. You become more productive, more creative, more successful. You achieve more. Because you are not held back by fear or doubt or insecurity. And finally, the ultimate benefit is freedom. Freedom from the opinions of others. Freedom from the expectations of others. Freedom from the control of others. You become the master of your own destiny. You live life on your own terms. You are truly free. Embracing indifference and finding strength in solitude is not easy. It requires courage, resilience, and a willingness to challenge your own beliefs. But the rewards are immeasurable. A life of self-esteem, mental health, strong relationships, productivity, and freedom. A life that is authentic, meaningful, and fulfilling. A life that is truly your own. So take the first step. Embrace the indifference and watch yourself soar. Now, let's address some common misconceptions about embracing indifference. Some people think it means becoming cold and heartless. That's not true. Embracing indifference is not about shutting down your emotions. It's about detaching emotionally from toxic people and situations. It's about protecting your energy and your peace of mind. You can still be kind, compassionate, and empathetic, but you don't have to let others drain you, manipulate you, or abuse you. Some people think it means and isolated. That's not true either. Embracing indifference is not about cutting yourself off from the world. It's about being selective about who you let into your life. It's about building a strong support system of people who genuinely care about you. You can still have meaningful relationships, but you don't have to tolerate toxic ones. Some people think it means giving up on love and connection. That's absolutely not true. Embracing indifference is not about closing yourself off to the possibility of love. It's about being more discerning about who you choose to love. It's about waiting for someone who values you, respects you, and supports you. You deserve to be loved unconditionally. Don't settle for anything less. Some people think it means becoming selfish and self-centered. That's not the goal. Embracing indifference is not about ignoring the needs of others. It's about prioritizing your own needs and well-being. You can still be generous, helpful, and compassionate, but you don't have to sacrifice yourself for others. You can't pour from an empty cup. And finally, some people think it means giving up on hope. That's the furthest thing from the truth. Embracing indifference is not about losing hope. It's about finding hope within yourself. It's about believing in your own strength, your own resilience, your own power. You are capable of anything you set your mind to. Never give up on yourself. Embrace the indifference and watch yourself soar. Before we conclude, let's address a crucial aspect: managing expectations. Often, disappointment stems from unrealistic expectations of others. We expect loyalty, support, and understanding, but not everyone is capable of providing these. Lowering expectations doesn't mean becoming cynical. It means accepting people for who they are, not who you want them to be. It means recognizing their limitations and adjusting your reliance on them accordingly. This doesn't mean you can't hope for the best, but it does mean you're prepared for the worst. It means you're less likely to be by their actions and less likely to be deeply hurt when they fall short. It's about protecting yourself from unnecessary pain and disappointment. It's also about focusing on what you can control: your own actions and reactions. You can't change other people, but you can change how you respond to them. You can choose to detach emotionally, set boundaries, and prioritize your own well-being. Managing expectations is a form of self-care. It's about being realistic and proactive in protecting your emotional health. It's about understanding that not everyone will meet your needs, and that's okay. The path to self-discovery is often paved with the debris of shattered expectations and the bitter taste of betrayal. It's a journey not for the faint of heart, a descent into the depths of despair, where the echoes of broken promises reverberate through the chambers of our soul. We emerge from this crucible transformed, but stronger, wiser but wary, and forever changed by the lessons etched into our very being. The initial sting of betrayal is a searing pain, a wound that festers with doubt and self-recrimination. We question our judgment, our intuition, our very sanity. How could we have been so blind, so naive, so trusting? The questions swirl like a tempest, threatening to capsize our sense of self. We replay the events, searching for clues, for warning signs that we so carelessly overlooked. We dissect every conversation, every interaction, every fleeting moment, desperately seeking to understand how we could have been so utterly deceived. The temptation to wallow in self-pity is overwhelming. It's a seductive siren song, promising solace in the depths of despair. We retreat into ourselves, isolating ourselves from the world, nursing our wounds in the darkness. We replay the betrayal over and over again, each repetition deepening the pain, solidifying the belief that we are somehow flawed, somehow deserving of this torment. But within this darkness lies the seed of transformation. It is in the depths of our despair that we begin to question the narratives we have so readily accepted, the assumptions we have so blindly embraced. We begin to see the world with new eyes, stripped of the rose-tinted glasses of naivety. We begin to recognize the patterns of manipulation, the subtle cues of deceit, the hidden agendas that lurk beneath the surface of seemingly benign interactions. This awakening is not without its challenges. It requires a willingness to confront uncomfortable truths, to dismantle deeply ingrained beliefs, to challenge the very foundations of our understanding. It requires a brutal honesty, a willingness to acknowledge our own complicity in the deception, to recognize the ways in which we allowed ourselves to be manipulated. As we shed the layers of illusion, we begin to see the betrayer for who they truly are. We recognize their insecurities, their vulnerabilities, their desperate need for validation. We see that their actions were not a reflection of our worth, but rather a manifestation of their own internal struggles. This realization is liberating. It allows us to release the anger, the resentment, the bitterness that has been poisoning our soul. We begin to understand that holding on to these negative emotions only serves to perpetuate the cycle of pain. We begin to forgive, not for their sake, but for our own. Forgiveness is not about condoning their actions, nor is it about forgetting the pain they inflicted. It is about releasing the emotional burden that we have been carrying, freeing ourselves from the shackles of resentment. It is about choosing to move forward, to reclaim our power, to create a future free from the shadows of the past. As we emerge from the darkness, we are forever changed. We are more cautious, more discerning, more attuned to the subtle nuances of human interaction. We have learned to trust our intuition, to listen to the whispers of our inner voice, to heed the warning signs that we once so carelessly ignored. We have also learned the importance of self, reliance, the power of inner strength, the resilience of the human spirit. We have discovered that we are capable of surviving even the most devastating betrayals, that we can emerge from the ashes stronger and more resilient than ever before. The scars of betrayal may never fully fade, but they serve as a constant reminder of the lessons we have learned. They are a testament to our strength, our resilience, our ability to overcome adversity. They are a badge of honor, a symbol of our transformation. But the journey does not end with forgiveness. It extends beyond the individual, encompassing a broader understanding of human nature and the complexities of social interaction. We begin to recognize that betrayal is not an isolated incident, but rather a recurring theme in the human experience. We see it in the political arena, where promises are broken and trust is routinely violated. We see it in the corporate world, where greed and ambition often trump ethical considerations. We see it in our personal relationships, where infidelity and deception can shatter the bonds of love and friendship. This realization can be disheartening, even cynical, but it can also be empowering. It allows us to approach the world with a more realistic perspective, to temper our expectations, to protect ourselves from future betrayals. We learn to cultivate a healthy skepticism, to question authority, to challenge conventional wisdom. We become more discerning in our choice of friends and partners, seeking out those who demonstrate integrity, honesty, and empathy. We also learn to set boundaries, to protect our emotional well-being, to prioritize our own needs. We recognize that we cannot control the actions of others, but we can control how we respond to them. We can choose to walk away from toxic relationships, to disengage from manipulative individuals, to create a safe and supportive environment for ourselves. This process of self-discovery is not easy. It requires courage, vulnerability, and a willingness to confront our own limitations. But it is ultimately rewarding, leading to a deeper understanding of ourselves, a greater appreciation for the complexities of human nature, and a more fulfilling and authentic life. In the end, the experience of betrayal can be a catalyst for profound personal growth. It can force us to confront our own vulnerabilities, to challenge our assumptions, to redefine our values. It can lead us to a deeper understanding of ourselves, a greater appreciation for the complexities of human nature, and a more fulfilling and authentic life. It is a journey not for the faint of heart, but for those who are willing to embrace the darkness, to confront their demons, and to emerge from the crucible transformed, but stronger, wiser but wary, and forever changed by the lessons etched